Hello and thanks for your company on this week's edition of Take Two as we have a look back over the past week of racing on our New South Wales provincial and country tracks. And a busy program is coming up tonight.
Seven races were on the card under beautiful conditions here at Muswellbrook on Monday, the 15th of September. 25 degrees, we had a track upgrade to a good 4. Spring is well and truly upon us, and I found a couple of really nice horses I think we can follow out of today's meeting. They're both trained by Brett Kavanagh. The first one comes up in race number 1, filly by the name of Shenandoah River. Now, she was first up from a spell today. She only had one run in her 2-year-old day. She was tipped straight out after finishing second here in the Star Maker. She'd had the one trial leading into today, and I thought her effort to finish second behind Mike Drop was very good. You'll see her in the green and white colours. Now, they do bump in the home straight. Just puts her off a little bit. They were equally to blame for it. They fired in a protest that was unsuccessful, but I thought the best part of her work was late, and a win won't be far away.
Shenandoah River 3 deeper. Flying Bolly was next, then Little Bubbles and Sir Heridar is nudged along out deeper. Around the turn, 380 left to go. Avon Lee in front from Mike Drop travelling well. Shenandoah River on the outside's trying to come at the pair. Then Flying Bolly, Sir Heridar's down the outside with Little Bubbles, but Mike Drop's in front. Now Shenandoah River's a really big challenger on the outside with 100 metres left to go. They're having a bump here. Mike Drop in front. Shenandoah River will dive. Mike Drop beat Shenandoah River.
The winner there, Mike Drop, had been tested in the Riesling Stakes as a 2-year-old. Todd Hallett's always had a really good opinion of her. So for Shenandoah River to do that at start number 2 is very promising for her future going forward. They're both highly promising, as is the third horse there. It'll be a red-hot form race. The second horse to follow out of today's meeting is another Kavanagh runner. It's Xerxes. Now, he's had plenty of chances. Today was start number 10. He's figured in the placings for the 7th time, but he just had no luck. He was caught 3 wide throughout. Every time Mitch Bell tried to be positive and slot in, one would punch up underneath him. Ultimately, he made a move at about the 700 metres. It left him a sitting shot for something to come from behind him, but he certainly didn't shirk the task in finishing second.
Xerxes, despite the wide run, still in front by a length and a half. Rope Walker chasing hard, big mix, and here's Pinot Nero. Pinot Nero's accelerating fast on the outside. Xerxes still in front. Pinot Nero levelling up on the outside. They've beat off the rest. Xerxes the inside, Pinot Nero the outside, and a great tussle up the straight. Pinot Nero beat Xerxes.
Yes, something was always going to make a charge, and in the end it was Pinot Nero who was stepping out in trip there to the 1,500 metres, strong at the end. But under the circumstances, Xerxes has gone absolutely enormous. So the 2 horses to follow coming out of today's meeting are Shenandoah River and Xerxes.
Monday racing was out of Corowa. The performance of the day was Holm, carrying 65.5 kilos to win the sprint race over 900 metres. Some effort that. But I thought there was a couple of nice horses to follow out of the meeting. The first one was Party Boss. This was some run. He's had 3 starts this campaign for a win and 2 seconds. He's prepared by Gary Colvin. Gary said in the pre-race interview he'll probably have a spell soon and just let him mature a little bit more, but he's going to make a really nice 4-year-old when he returns next campaign. Now, Blake McDougall gets him to the outside. He absolutely floods home behind our winner, Bold Triumph, who holds on the win, but Party Boss was outstanding running second.
Party Boss has been 3 wide. The Trip Fleet Destination, Marging, Centerfile, Marine Parade and Allenby back towards the end as Bold Triumph runs to the 300 metres in front, shrugs off Namarari, and Alandia Beach now asked to go down the middle. It's Bold Triumph from Alandia Beach running home fairly. Further back, Party Boss down the outside from Tominato. Still Bold Triumph. Alandia Beach is trying to pick it up. It's Bold Triumph, Alandia Beach, a few closing. Party Boss is still closing in. On the inside, Bold Triumph survives. Bold Triumph just gets home and beats a fast finishing Party Boss.
Probably the best finish of any horse on the day. I thought he was enormous there, so he's my first Take Two horse. The second is Capital Design. We had several debutants in the maiden, and Capital Design started our favourite, was well supported as well. This horse was gallant. He fought all the way to the line, but just found Deplane was the name of the winner. He jumped on the outside barrier and finished off too well, but Kicking back on the inside, I thought Capital Heart was really, really good. Runs third, but it's not going to be too far off winning soon.
400 metres to go. Twice as quick, Capital Design. They turn together. Kenny Swan's the runner on the inside, but Capital Design has got the front, but now coming at it on the outside strongly is Rum Jungle, who's running on quickly. Capital Design, Rum Jungle, end to plane out wide. Capital Design fighting Rum Jungle, end to plane, still closing in. It is close here. Rum Jungle, Capital Design. Or Deplane's lunge. It's a three-way go. Deplane, Rum Jungle or Capital Design.
So Capital Design digging really deep there on the inside. Nearly got there, but Deplane just a little bit too strong at the end with the benefit of that race experience and race toughness. So they're my two horses to follow out of this meeting. The first one is Capital Design and the second is Party Boss.
Racing this Tuesday the 16th came out of Maruya, where we ended up on a good 4 after a fair bit of rain a few days prior, but really windy conditions saw it dry out to be a lovely fair track. The day was highlighted probably by Duplicate taking out our feature later on. I think she's a very handy mare with a bright future. We saw Pierre Boudvillain ride a few winners. Louise Day had a double and Maddie Dale had a day out with a few winners as well. So all around a good day's racing, but I have come up with a couple of horses to follow out of the program. The first horse I want to highlight is a locally trained horse called Remy's Bro. Now, he was on debut for Kevin Cassidy. He had trialled quite well, but did look a little bit raw. Now, today in only a 5-horse field over the 900 metres, he was the only horse to take a sit. They were 4 abreast the track. With the cutaway in play, he saved all the ground along the inside and I thought gave great chase behind a horse that had had 5 placings from 5 starts prior to today. We'll pick him up now along the inside.
Remy's Bro has snuck up the cutaway, so Blanc de Noir 200 to go. Remy's Bro on the cutaway ran to second, then Glenn's Legacy. Blanc de Noir's in front from Remy's Bro. Blanc de Noir in front from Remy's Bro. Blanc de Noir doing enough. It's a first up crush. Blanc de Noir beat Remy's Bro.
I thought it was a very professional debut from Remy's Bro, and I think he'll only take improvement out of that going forward. So perhaps looking for another maiden at the short trip around Maruya at our next meeting, which would be the Legend of the South meeting, and I think he'll take a bit of beating. The other horse I want to follow out of the meeting is a horse called Extravagant Choice for Nick Olive. He was first up today. His best last preparation he showed was always out over a little bit further, so I was expecting him to find the line, and then when he came into the yard I thought, oh my god, he presented quite big. He looked like he's would take a lot of benefit out of the run. His coat hadn't come out at all and I thought he's going to really need this, but he's really surprised me to see him find the line as strongly as he did at the short trip.
200 to go. A lot to say, slipping up the inside. 4K, Fire and Gemstone, Extravagant Choice still coming. Lock Aaron's in front with 50 metres left to go from A Lot to Say. An Extravagant Choice. A lot to say will win from Lock Aaron, Extravagant Choice.
I love the way he attacked the line there. I'm excited to see him go around again. I will certainly keep a keen eye on how much improvement he's taken, how his coat's come through, and I think the way he ran that well, knowing that there's more to come from him, he's certainly a horse to follow this preparation. So my 2 horses to follow out of this meeting are Remy's Bro and Extravagant Choice.
Kembla Grange on Thursday the 18th of September. It was a good 4 and the track played towards the middle today and a pretty firm surface. So one horse I want to follow is Fashionable out of race number 3. Really deep super maiden. Reflect won the race. Nice type there for Joe Pride. But I want to follow Fashionable, who really hit the line with some authority in the light blue and red colours, finishing 3rd.
Coming to the turn, Switz in front, 425 outer, led by 3, Decalogue in second, O'Shamus chasing, and then Reflect out wider, and Lady Giovanna starting to get into her work as well. 300 metres left to go. Decalogue got to the front. Reflect's a big danger on the outside, though. Reflect moved up to Decalogue. Decalogue fighting back. Reflect the outside. Lupa Capitalina is chiming in as well. Reflect the outside. Decalogue the inside, and a great fighting battle. Reflect doing the better, and Reflect will win. Reflect beat Decalogue. Third, Fashionable might have flashed home and got third.
Really nice effort from this filly. She's got a bit of breeding on her side. She's a Savabeel. I think she'll be better suited up to a mile, or possibly a mile and a quarter and beyond. I'll be following her for the next couple of starts in something similar. I want to go to race number 6 now. Madrina finishing the race off really well behind a nice colt in What a Legacy, hitting the line with some purpose and finishing into 4th, formerly with Gay and Adrian, and now with Nick Ollie.
Towards the bender. They've got 4.25 left to go, straightening up, and on the inside, What a Legacy's a narrow leader. All the way, May out wide is charging home, and in the centre is Point Score. Madrina's the deepest runner with Sunday Tycoon. 2.50 left to go. What a Legacy in front. Gibbons now shakes it up in the lead. Point Score's trying to run it down. Ken threading through just behind them. All the way, May and Social, but it's all What a Legacy. What a Legacy keeps going in the lead, and What a Legacy. What a Legacy beat a photo between Sociable, Ken and Madrina's flashed home from the wide gate.
Yeah, really nice effort there. First run for the new stable. I think Nick Olive's going to have a lot of fun with this mare, Madrina. So Fashionable and Madrina, the two for me to follow from Kembla.
Take 2 time racing was at Newcastle this Friday, the 19th of September. It was Newcastle Cup Day. We had 8 races on the card, perfect conditions. We're on a good 4 surface, and Mel and I picked out a couple of horses we're keen to follow as we move forward. You found a horse in race number 4.
Yeah, it was Written Scandal. She was first up today at 900 metres, which is probably not her pet distance. She gets back in the field. She was chasing a long way from home. She's in the Australian bloodstock colours.
Halfway down the running, Welcome Gypsy, led by 2, booted away. Durova giving chase. Wolsey, mate, looking for a tight run. He got held up. Rantan's down the outside. Durova races up and hits the lead. 100 to go from Rantan. But Durava's darted clear in the hurricane. 3 out of 3 for Crockett. Durova wins it by 1 length on Rantan, and Written Scandal got home later.
Yeah, I really liked her effort. She presented with a little bit of improvement to come in the yard fitness-wise. So I think when they step her out in trip a little with that run under her belt, she'll be very competitive wherever she steps out.
Yeah, I agree. The horse I want to follow went around in race number 3. This was a 1,400 metre maiden. Now, Columbus from the Les Bridge stable was having his first start in a race off some encouraging trial efforts. He tracked into the race nicely, but simply had nowhere to go.
In the straight now, Tuscany being felt for. Orange Tsunami, California Command, try to get on terms. Ironheart, Columbus tight for room behind them. He's desperate to get out but can't. Running on was Tropic, and wider on the track was Decorum, brushing there with Bacanara. 150 to go. It is California Command, Tropic and Decorum. Decorum the outside goes home best, and Decorum has won. Oh, someone send a brown paper bag to the caller's box. Columbus desperately unlucky, and he's run home to finish second.
Well, it's a very hard watch if you're on Columbus, but I'm sure you'd agree with me. Wherever he goes next time around, he's going to be awfully hard to beat. Maybe over 1,400 or even a little bit further. He's a horse that's got plenty of upside. So my horse to follow out of this Newcastle meeting this Friday, the 19th of September, is Columbus.
And I'm with Written Scandal.
Take 2 time racing was at Newcastle this Saturday, the 20th of September. We had an 8-race card and we had perfect conditions for racing, and I've picked out a couple of horses that I'm keen to follow in the coming weeks. The first horse I want to highlight went around in race number 5 on the card, the Fillies and Mares Maiden over 1,250 metres. Look Here had a pretty tough run in transit, was no closer than 3 deep throughout, but was still very brave and kicked on to get into a placing.
Around the bend, Sodoro is the leader, looks to have a kick here, led by a length. Second is Miles of Glory coming at them. Look Here's been wide throughout, and they get away from Take a Chance on Me, who angles back to the inside. Edge of Infinity now working home, as is Vexy the outside. Plenty of chances. Miles of Glory, Look Here, drive to the lead together. Vexy down the outside, Miles of Glory and Look Here. Vexy sweeping down the centre, 3 across, they hit the line. Vexy gets in over Miles of Glory, Look Here.
Well, it was certainly a surprise result with the first start of Vexy winning at a big price, but I think Look Here with a more economical run in transit next time out will be very hard to beat. The second of the horses to follow out of this Newcastle meeting went around in the final event, race number 8, a benchmark 64 over the 1,400 metres. Natoya now in the John Sargent stable, a former New Zealander coming off a maiden win at Ellerslie its last start. Got a long way back, but watch the way he finishes off.
These two going fairly solidly out in front. It is Champagne Hero leading only narrowly over over Inception. They're 2.5 lengths in front of Ruination, who has the drop on them. Darn Cute was next, followed by Maybe Mowat working off the inside, then Alfred. Throttle response to the outer. The widest runner is King Jerry. Champagne Hero grabbed as they run to the 300 now by Ruination, and Ruination sprinted away. Ruination runs to the 200, more than a length in front. Maybe Mowat is the chaser. Battling away is King Jerry. Ruination clear though inside the last 100, holding Maybe Mowat in the run home. Natoya flashing home, but Ruination, last favourite, gets in. Natoya got up for second.
There was certainly a slashing run behind a very promising horse in Ruination. I think if Natoya gets out over 1,600 metres next time with a little bit of extra fitness on his side, he's going to take a power beating. So the two horses to follow out of this Newcastle meeting this Saturday the 20th of September, Look Here and Natoya.
Racing on this Sunday came out of Nowra, where we raced on a soft 6, but all reports from jockeys was that it felt a little bit firmer, although we didn't see an upgrade, but it did see pretty good racing throughout. The racing certainly got more competitive as the day went on, but I did find a couple of horses to highlight out of the meeting. The first horse I want to highlight is a horse called Common Goal. Now, was resuming today for the Joe Ibel team. Last preparation only had the 2 runs as a maiden, which runs weren't too eye-catching, but they certainly weren't bad by any means. But he looked to have returned better off the back of a couple of sharper trials. But he did find a pretty hot maiden today. You saw him start a $23 chance, but when we pick him up now in the purple and green colours, he gave a great sight to run second.
The turn, 450 left to go, and it's Perfect Good Star from Harry's Halo. Disparate pulls out 3 wide for its run. Bordertown behind those, Just Hear Me Out, and then came Fierceness at the top of the straight, 350 to go. Perfect Good Star with a kick, 2 lengths in front to Harry's Halo. Disparate setting out after Perfect Good Star, and then came Fierceness. Perfect Good Star's wandering all over the place here. It pushed Disparate wide, and on the far side, Common Goal. It's Perfect Good Star in front from Disparate, Common Goal. Perfect Good Star and Common Goal. Perfect Good Star will win from Common Goal.
Well, he nearly looked the winner, with the winner doing a lot wrong there running around, but able to fall in and get the job done. But I thought it was a really good first start run. I think we can expect a bit of improvement, and he should be able to find a slightly easier maiden to be able to break through pretty quickly this preparation. Second horse I want to follow out of the meeting is a horse from the Gerald Ryan and Sterling Alexu team called Pretty Cheeky. She had quite an interesting story. She was resuming today. She only had the 2 starts last preparation, where she broke through at Queanbeyan at her second start. Off the back of that, she suffered a bit of an injury, which saw her go online to the broodmare sale, for a broodmare sale, but they couldn't get any bites with her, so they decided to give her the necessary time out that she needed, bring her back and try again. She had 3 trials in preparation for today. Her most recent one put the writing on the wall that she had returned well, but it was great to see her dig deep to win quite comfortably in the end here.
Pretty Cheeky in a stalking spot. Now pops out 3 wide for its run. Sweet Warriors right behind those. Just One Look, Beer Grad Boy, an explosive torpedo to the outside. They've got 300 to go. Xanadu Miss, Chili Crab, Pretty Cheeky. Sweet Warrior behind those. Sinalda making ground behind the leader. 150 to go. Xanadu Miss with a kick from Pretty Cheeky. Sinalda. Xanadu Miss in front from Pretty Cheeky. Sinalda. Xanadu Miss in front from Pretty Cheeky. Pretty Cheeky dives. Got there.
I love the way she knuckled down there, and I think there can certainly be improvement to come, although she had the 3 trials leading into today off the back of a long spell and an injury. I think she's certainly one to follow. So my 2 horses to keep an eye on out of this Nowra meeting are Common Goal and Pretty Cheeky.
Hope you enjoyed the program this week, and we look forward to doing it all again next time around, and hopefully you found more than a few winners out of the program this week.